So, hello, I'm Cecilia Randuring, and I'm helping powerful women to stop missing out on their lives, prioritizing themselves, and reach their full potential. So, over the next 3 weeks, I'm hosting 3 lives, mini workshops, and it will be on Facebook in the Self Mastery for Heart Centered Women, and Instagram also. And the replay will be available as well. You will find them on Facebook in the Facebook group, on Instagram, and YouTube. And really make sure to watch them before the end of the year so you can close 2022 and ready yourself for 2023 and start on a good note. All right, welcome everybody. So, the topic we are covering today is how to understand where you stand today with your wins, your failures, and more. Your learnings too. It's about awareness. Next week, we will cover how to release what you've accumulated in 2022, what limits you and what doesn't serve you anymore, and most important, what you don't want to drag into 2023. It will be a very beautiful live, and I will share with you native ritual to release mental and emotional charge. Hope you can join that one too. And in the final week, we will talk about how to listen or how to learn to listen to your intuitive guidance and start dreaming for 2023. So today we're going to talk about awareness. To know where you stand today, December 15th. And at the end, I'm going to provide you with different journal prompts that I want you to finish before next week. I will also be hosting Q&A. So whether you're watching live or on the replay, drop your questions in the comment. So let's begin. The end of the year can be challenging. As your energy begins to shift, you can feel preoccupied, anxious, unsatisfied, incomplete, or even unfulfilled, as if something was unfinished, unsettled, or even uprooted. And this is normal because things are shifting inside us and, of course, around us. What we need is completion. We need to close the year cycle before opening a new one. And closing a cycle is critical to begin a new one in a powerful and healthy way. So, to close this year's cycle, the first thing we are going to do is explore where you stand today in your professional and personal life. A lot happened for a lot of people during the last 12 months. Things that were under your control and things that weren't. Things you accomplished or wish to accomplish. Things that happen in the world, in your environment, that impacted you and what you wanted to accomplish. Maybe you didn't get everything you wanted, and maybe a lot of things got in the way, and maybe not. So for me, 2022 has been a very interesting year. One of the dreams I had was to take care of myself, really take care of myself, my body and my balance. And what I want to celebrate is that I succeed becoming my number one priority and to strengthen myself to be at service to others. And for many years, I was ending the year finding myself exhausted, drained, with no more energy, spending the holidays resting, not even able to recharge 100% of my batteries. I was physically, emotionally, mentally exhausted, and I imagine spiritually lost. And this year, I really want to celebrate that things are balanced. Everything is not perfect yet, of course, but I'm healthy, I feel strong, I'm aligned, and pretty stable emotionally, and I feel fulfilled today. So what I would like for you is, and it's the first thing I invite you to do, is to remember what were your dreams or project for 2022. Maybe remember when you were end of December last year, so 2021. What was your dreams? And you can share them in the comments. Share your dreams and in the comments whether you watch it live or the replay. And really connect to those dreams, what you wished, what you wanted to manifest. And then once you've done that, think about what have you accomplished in 2022. Some were parts of the dreams and projects you had, and some weren't. What was expected and what was a good surprise? Take the time to list them. And you can share some of your celebration in the comments below. So that's the first step, and it's really important to look at what you wanted and what you have accomplished and really celebrate what you did. Another important step is to transform what is commonly called failure. To transform failure into learning and bring positivity. So, what were your failures or the things that didn't go in the right direction? You need to make also a list, and what's important there is to list the narrative you have for each one of the failures on the list. For me, what didn't go right is releasing some anger that I've been holding. Anger that created, well, in me, unhealthy reaction sometimes, and also skin issues that I really don't want to have anymore. I thought that I was able to release that anger that I felt at the beginning of the year. And I kind of spent half of the year being very proud of myself, like, yeah, I've released everything. I don't feel angry anymore. And during the summer, a neighbor really triggered it, and my reaction was not the one I dreamt of. I remember I had some words that I regret now. And also I woke up at night angry, sometimes sweating or dreaming, not healthy dream. And that's what I don't want to be with. So what I've done is I've done some work, thought to release it. And I know I have more work to do, but I've learned a lot. And I've learned what are my triggers. How does my anger express itself? And also how to identify the first symptoms before it gets crazy. So I learned also by being more aware that anger is very useful and a necessary emotion. And what I tried to do this year is I tried to suppress it. And now I've started practicing expressing it every day to avoid the explosion once in a while. And by expressing it, I'm also learning quite a lot. And all that, what I just shared with you, is helping me to change the narrative about my anger. So identify what's your, what you want to leave behind. All right, so identifying the learning is so important. It allows us to grow, and maybe like when you play a video game, when you learn, you succeed and level up, and that creates the same sensation. So you know that your memories are malleable, and we all have the power to reshape our memories by transforming our narrative, by transforming the stories we tell to ourselves. The past doesn't exist for our brain, but the story we are telling to ourselves live in the present. So we can reshape our memories, we can change the narrative. And that's great, because when you are able to do it, it's a real boost to your confidence. Was wondering, have you tried before? Do not hesitate to share in the comment if you've tried before, and let me know if it worked. How was your experience of it, and also what the impact of transforming the narrative. Okay, so we're getting to the last step of this week practice. So this last step is to take stock of what you don't want anymore. For one simple reason, if you don't want, if you don't do it, it will come back next year. And evolving towards what you want requires letting go of what you don't want anymore, or what is no longer serving you, no longer useful to you. You can have everything you want, in fact, as long as you let go what is not good for you. Because that's what is holding you back in your self-evolution. So, list what you don't want anymore, whether it's something that you think you do, or a relationship in your life, or other things. List everything. Select the one or ones you are responsible for, the one you can act and decide on, the one you have control over, and decide to stop it, to leave it in 2022. Then you will need to explore what do you need to change in yourself to make this happen. So I can share what I want to let go, what I want to leave in 2022 for me. And the one thing I've selected is I want to live in 2022 not always listening to my body, hearing it, and not listening, not acting upon what my body is telling me. I really want to let go of that. So what's yours? You can write it in the comments. All right. So I shared with you 8 questions or journal prompts that you need to answer before next live on Thursday 22. You can answer one per day or the 8 at the same time each day, or how it works for you. It doesn't matter. The idea is really to go through each step and do the work and celebrate and release and transform the narrative, identify the learning, and let in 2022 what you don't want. We have Natalie who is sharing that for her is fear of losing her freedom and her personal power. So that's a great one to leave behind, because Natalie, you're such a powerful person. The fear is not helping you. Yeah. So I'm super, super, super excited to share and do this transformative work with you. Well, I started to do it about 10 days ago, and I'm really excited to start again. I really want to be on the same pace and have the same time frame as you. And we will see what happened next week. And also, if you are ready to go deeper in the work, in the self-exploration and self-transformation, know that I am accepting new clients for my self-mastery program. And this program is a good fit for you if you are a successful professional woman and you are fed up of missing out your life. You want to prioritize yourself and reach your full potential in all aspects of life. So the replay for this video will be available, as I said at the beginning, on Facebook, in the private group, in Instagram and YouTube. And you can get the link to my masterclass in the comment. I will add it in a minute. And if you have any questions, let's take some time to answer it right now. You can write it in the comments in the platform. So here I have a first question. So Interesting. Can we really transform the narrative of what happened in the past? Is it not cheating or lying to yourself? Well, that's a, a very interesting question. And that can be a perspective to say, well, I'm transforming the narrative. So I'm kind of creating a lie because this is not what happened. But in fact, what remains of what happened is just the story that you are making about it. And often, if several people were involved in what happened in the event, the different people have a different perspective on what happened. So the idea is to find a perspective that is life growing for you and not life diminishing for you. And by exploring the narrative, you will learn about the belief that you have about yourself and the stories that may not be life growing for you, that are limiting. So this is something that I practice quite a lot. It's really, it has impacted my life quite a lot, helping me to release some emotional wound or to heal them, and changing the story, changing the past, really brought peace and happiness. Hope that answer your question. Okay, there is a question about what if all the things I don't want depends on others? Okay. All right. So what you need to do if this happened is to look at what in all those things that depend on other. What I'm just thinking, yeah. So what is your role in that? What is your position? How are you in relationship with others? And maybe the things that you need to change is to decide to have boundaries and to define to do things that you want, to get away from the things that you don't want. And even if that seems impossible right now, you can start with one simple thing. Hope that answered your question. All right, I have another question here. It's I feel I should not be complaining. I have what many would like to have, but I'm not happy. I feel guilty and then accept what doesn't work for me. What should I do? So this is very interesting. I was in this situation when I was working for a big company before I became an entrepreneur. I had a lot of things that were great and that were not fulfilling, and I was not feeling happy and feeling guilty to complain. So I can really understand what you're sharing there. So what you should do is really look at first what you don't want, what doesn't work for you. You know, you say you are accepting that. So identify what doesn't work for you and decide, okay, what is the first thing that I don't want to accept anymore? What do I need to change? And then also working on yourself, working on your belief will help you to transform and to connect to what's important to you, to find meaning in what you do. You can already start with the practice I'm giving you for this week by identifying what you don't want, what doesn't work for you. And then there you will need to do some more work on your limiting belief. Another question is, let me see there. Okay, I have difficulty recognizing what I did well. I am focusing on what I didn't do well. How to change that? Okay, so this is very frequent, especially in some countries in Europe where at school, education, focus on what didn't work, what the the mistake that we did. So it's kind of unlearning this way of looking at your at yourself, at what you did, and unlearning start also by practicing something else, is to start to celebrate every single wins or every single thing that you do and you're proud of. And it can be, like walking every day in the forest and decide to have this practice, and after a week, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I walked. Yeah, this is the first step. Or it's if you have client calls to make, and you're not sure, that's difficult for you, maybe do the first call and see what happened, and celebrate as a win because you did it. You faced your fear. So focusing on what worked well, it's in fact very easy, because what worked well is everything that we do, because most of the time what you do is the best you can do. There is another question. I think that will be the last one that I will answer. I realize I don't know my dreams anymore. The one I had seems to be so far away. What should I do? Yeah. So that's also frequent when we've been working, sometimes overworking ourselves, and doing things that are not in alignment with who we are, not in alignment with our purpose. We kind of lose meaning of what we are doing, and the dream that we had seems very far away, and sometimes we even forget them. So what you need to do is to identify what bring you pleasure and fulfillment in what you do daily, connect to that, and work on identifying what's meaningful for you and focusing on that. And little by little, your dreams will come back, I guarantee you. Yeah. All right, that was the last question. So I'm super excited to share all that with you and to begin our journey together. So see you next week. And in the meanwhile, practice the journal prompt. I will share them in the comments. And well, see you next week. Bye.